let's be real for a second. Forget everything you think you know about writing a thesis. We're not just here to talk about a paper. We are embarking on an epic academic journey. We're calling it the Thesis Quest. This isn't just some final hurdle to jump over. It's an adventure in creating something totally new.
So if the thought of this whole thing feels, well, a little overwhelming, you are definitely not alone. It's a huge project, but what if we just reframed it? Instead of a mountain of stress, think of it as a quest. It's got maps, it's got allies, and at the end, there's a real treasure. Let's get you ready for that adventure.
Okay, first things first, let's get our terms straight. You'll hear thesis and dissertation thrown around. A thesis, usually for a master's degree, is all about proving you can master the research process. But a dissertation, that's for a doctorate, and it's a whole other level. You're not just following the map. You're expected to discover brand new territory for your field.
So here's our map for today. We're going to walk through 6 key stages of this quest, all the way from that first little spark of an idea to the legacy you're going to leave behind.
Every great quest needs a mission, right? And for your thesis, that mission is way bigger than just getting a grade. This is your shot to prove you can think for yourself, conduct real, scholarly research, and actually generate something new for the world. This is your contribution.
These are the first steps on the path, before the big journey even really kicks off. You got to finish your required classes, sign up for a thesis course to get your bearings, and this is the big one, find a real research problem and get a working title approved. This is the foundation for literally everything that follows.
All right, next up, the proposal. And listen, this isn't just another paper to write. Think of it as the detailed, hand-drawn map for your entire quest. It tells your guides where you're going, why it's a journey worth taking, and exactly how you plan to get to the finish line.
So how do you actually draw this map? Well, it breaks down into these key landmarks. You start by reviewing the literature. That's basically studying all the old maps. Then you design your methods, gather your tools, and only then do you lay out a timeline and budget. See how each step builds on the last? It's all about planning.
And remember, that literature review? It isn't just a book report of what other people have done. Nope, it's an exploration. You're actively hunting for the knowledge gap, that little blank spot on the map, that uncharted territory where your unique contribution is going to be made. That's how your quest finds its purpose.
No hero ever completes a quest all by themselves. This next stage is all about building your fellowship. That's your team of expert guides and mentors who are going to have your back, challenge your ideas, and help you find your way when the path gets tricky.
And the structure of this fellowship is pretty important. As you can see here, the bigger the quest, the bigger your team. For an undergrad thesis, you might just need 3 members, but for a full-on doctorate, that council expands to 5, and each person brings some kind of vital expertise to the table.
Now, it is super important to know who does what. Your thesis advisor? That's your guide, your mentor, the person you're talking to day in and day out. The thesis committee, on the other hand, is like the council of elders. They meet up at key moments to give their wisdom and make sure your quest is heading in the right direction. Okay, you've got your map, you've got your team. Now, the real adventure begins. This is the heart of the journey. This is where you actually head out, into the lab, into the archives, wherever, to gather your data, figure out what it all means, and start writing the story of your discoveries. Your final manuscript is basically the logbook of your entire quest, and it tells a very specific story. The intro sets the scene. The literature review shows where your journey fits on the map. The methodology explains the tools you used. Then come the big parts, the results, what you found, and the discussion, what it all actually means. It's a powerful narrative. And now, we've reached the climax of our story, the final defense. This isn't some scary trial to be afraid of. Think of it as your moment of triumph. It's the official hearing where you get to stand before your council and defend the knowledge you fought so hard to bring back. So, what does this defense actually look like? It's pretty straightforward, really. You'll put together a sharp 15 to 20-minute presentation covering your main points. After that, it's a Q&A with your committee, where they get to dig in and really see the depth of what you've learned.
But hold on. Before you even get to that room, there is one number that can stop your quest dead in its tracks: 25%. This is the absolute maximum similarity score you can have from a plagiarism checker. It's a non-negotiable line in the sand that's all about academic integrity. Your work has to be your work.
So after your presentation and all the questions, your committee is going to deliberate, and they'll come back with one of 3 verdicts. You could pass, maybe with just a few small tweaks. You might get a conditional pass, which means more serious revisions are needed, or in some cases, you might fail, which could mean a major overhaul and starting the proposal process over.
But graduating isn't the end of the story, not by a long shot. I mean, the degree is great, but the real prize, the real treasure, is the new knowledge you created, and now you have to figure out what you're going to do with it.
So, let's talk about that treasure. What happens if your research led you to a genuinely new invention, or some kind of breakthrough discovery? This isn't just an idea anymore, it's potentially valuable intellectual property. So, how do you protect it?
Okay, understanding who owns what is absolutely critical here. By default, you, the student, own the copyright to the actual words you wrote in your thesis. That's yours. But, and this is a big but, if your research creates a patentable invention, especially if you used university resources to do it, the university usually takes control of those rights.
So if you think you've struck gold, you have to do these things, in this order. First, tell your university's tech support office right away. Second, and this is the most important part, do not go share your findings at a conference or publish a paper about it yet. If you do, you might not be able to get a patent. Let the university office check it out first, and they'll handle the process from there.
And there you have it. You've navigated the map, you've built your team, and you've completed the journey. Your quest is officially complete. So the only real question left is this: what new knowledge, what amazing treasure are you now going to bring to the world?